The built environment represents a huge 40% of global carbon emissions. And while many see that as a daunting prospect, others see it as a huge opportunity. And joining me today is an organisation that's really taking that opportunity full on. Climate solutions are built into Trane Technologies' business model, whether that's through advanced HVAC systems, transport refrigeration, or building automation. By 2030, they're aiming and are on track to help customers reduce a gigaton, so that's 1 billion metric tons of CO2 emissions. And joining me today is Scott Chu, Global Head of Sustainability Strategy and VP at Trane Technologies, to talk us through how they're doing all this. Scott, it's really great to see you here.
Thanks, Helen. It's great to be with you as well.
So let's get started and let's go straight to that goal that I talked about. So 1 billion tons by 2030. Where do you start on a journey like that? And what would be your advice to others who are sort of thinking about going after those goals?
Yeah, well, way back before this was set, Helen, we did a lot of work around what are the big important priorities for the company in terms of making real impact. And one of the things that was really clear for us was we have to work on reducing product use emissions. When our systems, the ones that you mentioned, transport refrigeration, HVAC systems in buildings and homes, when they're being used, that's where there's an opportunity to reduce emissions. And so setting this very bold commitment of the gigaton challenge, as we call it, it was important because of what it meant to changing products and how they work when we install them. It was also really important for helping us rethink how we do what we do, how we operate, how we redesign and design products of the future. And even, I would say that this gigaton challenge has transformed who the company really is.
Interesting. Yeah, because you can't just tweaks at the margin if you're going to do that.
It changes everything.
Can you talk through a sort of specific innovation or project which has really excited you as part of the mission?
Like I mentioned, I think that the Gigaton Challenge, among other things, has really helped transform how we think about future solutions. And one of those things was historically for 100 plus years, when we've been cooling buildings, or bringing comfort to buildings, I should say, there have been heating systems and there have been simultaneously deployed cooling systems. And at times you run both of those systems. So to get the right mix, you have to run some heating, you run some cooling. That's really inefficient way of doing it. And we've kind of thrown that model out now. We've developed something we call the thermal management system. It's a single system approach. It's fully electric, so no dependence on fossil fuels. And in many locations, like in Europe, for instance, it comes with free cooling. Another exciting innovation is something we call ice storage. And that is essentially, we have systems within buildings that while we sleep at night and while the energy prices are lower in places that have real-time pricing, the energy in the building is used to make ice, which the next day when the energy prices are up, electricity is higher, the demand on the grid is more, we could begin to melt the ice, and that in turn cools the building and provides comfort to the occupant.
Oh, that's really interesting. Talking about ice makes you think of those kind of ice houses in the sort of 18th, 19th century and sort of old ways of doing things. What have been the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome so far?
Well, I think the challenges that we've had are the same ones that many face. Can this really be measured? I think there's a big myth around you can't measure sustainability. You can't measure some of these projects really well, but we think that's false. I personally believe that sustainability and sustainable solutions can be measured and their outcomes can be measured, and the ROI, the return on investment, can be measured like you can measure any other investment. We're talking 3 to 4 years. So gone are the days where these things were, very, very long-term returns. These things are immediate.
And is that something you have to help your customers with as well, that thinking and those ROI calculations?
Yeah, of course, systems change, as you know, Helen, it's your specialty. Systems change, it's a complicated thing. Yeah. And even though I may be talking about a single building or a campus, stepping back and thinking about how to change a system, obviously, it is more complicated, but the outcomes are dramatically larger.
Looking more broadly, where does Trane Technology see the biggest opportunities in the built environment in tackling global carbon challenges?
I'm really excited about opportunities related to circularity, for instance. The term circularity may not be understood by everyone and what it means, but some of the principles of it, which is, can we help extend the life of things like equipment and systems that we install? And there are lots of new ways of doing that. It's not just making a better system with better metal. It's actually thinking about how do we integrate better controls, make the systems themselves smarter, even at times using things like tools like AI to help the system diagnose what's
Mm.
wrong, if there's something wrong, and maybe even figure out how to heal itself, maybe how to order its own parts and help service techs know how to service the system better. So circularity and the concepts of circularity, more recycled materials. We were one of the first companies in our sector to begin integrating what we call green steel or low emission steel into our products. We've now shipped millions of products that incorporate green and low emission steel. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Rethinking the materials that are in our products is obviously a principle of circularity, but we're going to go all in on circularity because I think it holds great promise for the next few years that companies like ours have not really tapped into yet.
That's great. Thank you so much, Scott. It's really inspiring to hear you and to follow the story of Trane and see how you're taking these opportunities and really tackling this challenge. Trane Technologies is the headline partner for Climate Week NYC, and we're delighted to have their support this year.
Thanks for your partnership.